Welcome everyone to this video. In this video we are going to be demonstrating how to turn air into water using electricity. Now this is the water that I've collected for running this device, which I'll explain in a second. I ran the device for 1.5 hours and that's the amount of water I got from it. Now you're not going to fill your swimming pool. But if you scale this system up, you could collect quite a lot of water just by using sunlight to convert the air into water. So what I've done is used one of these Peltier devices. Now this one here in my hand is a generator. This was a long time ago that I purchased this unit, and I don't exactly remember everything about these devices. For me, it's not necessarily learning all of everything about a device. It's more about learning what's required to make that device advantageous for me. So I don't really care about a lot of how. I just want to know, what I can do with the device and how I can manipulate its features to benefit me. So this one I believe is primarily sold as a generator. You heat one side, you cool the other side, it produces electricity in a DC form. This one here is designed a little differently. I believe it could even be the same principle. It's just that you wouldn't be cooling it like this if you were to wanting to generate electricity, because you would need one side to remain hot. You would cool the other side, but in this case both sides are being cooled. So we've got this large aluminium heat sink, and the difference with this will get down to minus 20. It will actually freeze a bead of water if this side here is not, the fan's not running, and it'll just, a solid piece of ice will form on this aluminium heat sink here, this small heat sink. So just underneath that heat sink is one of these, and basically when you do this, you apply the electricity to this, one side becomes hot, the other side becomes cold, so much so that water condenses on this smaller heat sink. And I just had that sitting on a plate and for 1.5 hours, and that's the volume of water that came from it. I got this idea by taking a frozen bottle of water out of the freezer, sitting it on the bench to let it thaw so I could drink it on a hot Australian day, and which can be very, very dry here. Like, it's rained recently, but prior to that the ground was brown. The grass looked like it had completely died, and so there's no way of you getting water if you don't have a creek nearby. There are companies that are producing these on a larger scale. There's even an ex-military personnel of the US military that has recently come out and is selling this as his new fantastic idea, which is a load of rubbish. This has been around ever since a stone got cold and condensed water. This has been around for thousands of years. People knew of this, and it's just unfortunate you get some people who are cashed up and want to make it like they've turned water into wine. It's just unreasonable in my opinion. So now, unless you've got several hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy one of these new devices that it basically in a shipping container produce 5,000 litres a day, using this technology. And I'm not going to say the guy's name because he's going around drawing extra attention, going on news reports and that sort of thing, as though he's come up with this miraculous invention. And like everything else that's born of money, doesn't actually end up in the people's hands. And so, like, I'm pretty sure they didn't even drop one of those off with the recent Lahaina incident. Those people were drinking bottled water that had to be shipped in. So, at least 30,000 plus military personnel on the island of Hawaii. And what's going on? No, they didn't get one. So, again, you're going on the news channels saying how amazing he is and being, rewarded and congratulated for his genius, when really this is older than him even. And so, again, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want him to get the publicity. What I want to do is show the people how this is done. So you can buy larger scale units of these, and you could be in the middle of the Sahara Desert. And as long as you supply shade to this unit, so have a solar panel, have it sitting beneath the solar panel, it's in shade, it will permanently harvest the water as long as you have sunlight just from a solar panel. This doesn't really even need a battery. So a battery would make it safer, even just a small battery, just to take the high voltage away from this device. So the solar panels are usually higher than the voltage of the battery they're charging. They have to be that way, otherwise they wouldn't be able to charge it. So a small battery connected to this device would be a smarter way to go. But that's it, guys. So if you're fighting the likes of Bill Gates, taking our bloody water with your bloody aeroplanes flying over here all the time, and you've done a deal with the Australian government to make this country experience drought and poverty, so you can come in and buy up all the farmland because we can't manage it, and it fits under the WHO policy and the WEF policy of land appropriation. Yeah, we're onto you, Bill. We know what you're up to, mate. The people will have their way eventually, and you will be taken down. That's how you turn air into water. Any one of us can do it. If you can't afford one of these devices, go back thousands of years. Just grab a river stone. River stones would do it all the time. Put them in a hole. Put them in a bucket even. Put them down in a hole in the ground. And when it gets cold in the morning, you're going to find those stones are covered in water, beaded water. They used to feed animals in this way. There used to be large ponds with this rock, a whole heap of rocks placed in the bed, a shallow divot in the ground filled with rocks, and then a small sort of drainage pipe arrangement in the bottom of the divot in the ground, and the water that beaded from the rocks would end up trickling down and feeding the cattle or whatever animals, livestock you had. So this is certainly not difficult to do. We're just not educated. I mean, I gave my daughter something like this for a science experiment, and the teacher was amazed, and it's like, what? Hang on, who's teaching who? Anyway, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, please like, share and subscribe if you haven't already. A massive proportion of my viewers aren't subscribed, so whilst this video may not directly appeal to you, you may find something else on my channel. So please, could I encourage you just to pop over to my channel page and have a look if there's anything that's of interest to you. If you know someone in your family or your group that's a little bit more technically minded, that may enjoy something like this, please share it with them. And you never know, they may thank you for it. Alright, have a nice day. I'm not going to drink that because that has come off of an aluminium heatsink with thermal paste on it and this sort of stuff. So I might just mention, just before I go, how would you make this drinkable, safe? I would, instead of this aluminium heatsink here, I would have a stainless steel tube, a square stainless steel tube, like a stainless steel guttering or something like that, with a lengthy pipe off the base here, and that would allow for those that condensation to drip down, and you have just a jar at the bottom, or you know, anything to collect the water. It's pretty basic stuff. So again, these are pretty cheap. You can scale this up. You can buy bigger versions of this. Like I said, the military are producing that, well, ex-military are producing the 5,000 litre a day model, which sits inside a shipping container. So sky's the limit, and the sky will probably be the limit of how much water you collect as well. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a nice day.